Have you ever felt a single sentence steal your peace? One look, one careless comment, and suddenly you're spiraling, heart pounding, mind racing. Why do we allow strangers, even loved ones, to hold that kind of power over us? What if I told you that you never have to feel that way again? Not by changing others, but by mastering yourself. Because the Stoics, the ancient warriors of the mind, discovered something profound. You cannot control the words of others, but you can become immune to them. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, once wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." It's not just poetry, it's a blueprint. Offense is not something that happens to you, it's something that happens within you. It is not in the insult, but in the meaning you attach to it. This is the first truth you must understand. What offends you, reveals you, not them. As children, we learn to crave approval, a gold star, a smile, a nod. And with time, our identities become tangled in the perceptions of others. One harsh word feels like a blow, one judgment, a wound. But imagine someone calls you a tree. Would you be offended? Of course not. Why? Because you don't believe it. Epictetus said, "It's not things that upset us, but our judgments about things." So why, when someone calls you lazy, stupid, or weak, does it burn? Because deep down, a part of you fears it might be true. That is the wound, not their words. And the offended mind is often a mirror, not a battlefield. What you react to is already living inside you. There's a story of a man who once rushed to Epictetus, furious. He had been mocked in the market, publicly humiliated. Epictetus listened quietly, then asked, "Were you harmed, or just told that you were?" The man faltered. I suppose I was told." Epictetus nodded. "Then perhaps the harm is only your belief in it." This is the beginning of Stoic freedom, not in changing the world, but in changing the way you meet it. Let's be honest, offense often has less to do with morality and more to do with ego, with pride. Pride says, "How dare they speak to me that way?" Dignity says, "Their words cannot touch my inner fortress." Seneca once warned, "You seek praise from people who don't even understand themselves. That is not ambition. That is bondage." To be offended is often to believe we are owed something, respect, recognition, apology. But the Stoic demands nothing from others, because they have everything they need, inside. So how do we build this inner fortress? 3 steps. Practice them daily. Like mental swordsmanship. Pause. When something stings, wait. Don't react. Let the fire rise, then fall. The moment you hesitate, you gain power. Question the judgment. Is it true? Even if it is, so what? You are a work in progress. You do not need perfection to be at peace. Choose your standard. Will you let their chaos shape you, or hold your shape against their storm? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Let them throw stones. You are the mountain. We live in a culture that rewards outrage, clicks, outbursts, public shaming. But you don't have to play. When someone insults you online, what if you didn't clap back? When a coworker mocks you, what if you smiled? When a loved one strikes with words, what if you stood still? That silence, that restraint, that is not weakness. That is power. Because the person who can stay calm when provoked is no longer a puppet on strings. They are free. Some ask, but what about injustice? Should we not be offended by cruelty, racism, betrayal? The Stoic does not ignore injustice. They respond, not with outrage, but with clarity. Seneca said, "Anger is a brief madness. If you let it will rule you." You cannot fight cruelty by becoming cruel. You cannot fight noise with more noise. The Stoic acts, not to be seen, not to vent, but to restore order, to serve virtue. So yes, stand up, speak truth, but do it with stillness in your chest. That is how you win. When insulted, the Stoic does not flinch. They ask, what kind of person would say this? What must they be carrying? And why should I let their pain become mine? Epictetus again. If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize your mind is complicit in the provocation. That line changed my life. Every time I reacted in anger, I wasn't defending my honor. I was abandoning it. I was letting them set the tempo of my soul. Not anymore. There's a rare kind of peace that arrives when you stop taking things personally. Imagine walking through life like a calm sea. People throw stones, words, rumors. You ripple, but you do not break. You smile because you know who you are, and no one else gets to write your story. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. You are not their puppet. You are not their echo. You are the author." So the next time someone insults you, pause. Ask yourself, is this worth my peace? And most of the time, the answer is no. Let them shout. Let them misunderstand. Let them twist your silence into weakness. You are the stone beneath the storm, the fire that does not burn itself, the wave that cannot be offended by the wind. If this spoke to something in you, subscribe for more weekly Stoic reflections, and share this with someone who takes things too personally. Let's remind the world, calm is contagious, and dignity is a choice.